Yeah, baby, slipped through the cracks, coming at you once again. Look at this beautiful set of titles today, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Mouth here, ready to give you another vinyl trip that will blow your mind. Slipped through the cracks. Now, as impressive as these beautiful titles are, we don't really need them anymore, so we'll just get rid of that. And man, oh man, as impressive as those titles may have looked, it's not nearly as impressive as this record I'm going to show you when I show you the cover. Absolutely crazy. In fact, see this shirt I'm wearing today with the mighty red fox on it? See that look on his face? That look of surprise? That's going to be the look on your face when we talk about today's Slipped Through the Cracks masterpiece. That's right, I'm going to call it a masterpiece, even though one of the guys that did it hates it. And AllMusic, you know that popular internet site that reviews music and bands, AllMusic has called it the worst rock and roll record of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. You know what? I'm just going to start with the cover because the cover itself is going to blow your mind. This is the one and only album by Attila. Take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. We're talking 1970. You might be able to hear it chugging along in the background there because I've got it wailing. I can't take the record off. Even to record this video, I'm like, screw it. I'm going to leave the album playing in the background. But have a look at this cover, man. You know, if anyone, you know, there's always these great arguments about where did heavy metal start from? Where did heavy metal start? Oh, it started with the Kinks. No, it started with Blue Cheer. No, it started with Black Sabbath. I think visually, it starts right here, ladies and gentlemen. Like, come on. What is more savage and nasty looking than that as an album cover in 1970? These guys are dressed up in medieval gear with their helmets, their furs, and they are shot in a giant meat locker with the meat just hanging everywhere on giant hooks. This is like one of the craziest covers. You know, all those later death metal bands and stuff like that, Cannibal Corpse, it all goes right back here to Attila, baby. All that stuff with the blood and guts right here. Look at that cover. In fact, I'm going to zoom in on this and see if you can't recognize who one of the members of the band is. Because he went on to become, like, super duper, one of the biggest pop stars of all time, ladies and gentlemen. See him there? He looks kind of stoned in this picture, I have to tell you. This guy right here? See this guy right here? Can you tell me who that is? Can you tell through those stoned eyes who that is? That is none other than the Piano Man himself, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the man who thinks it's still rock and roll to him, and he can't stop fires, or whatever that other atrocious song was he had. That is Billy Joel. This is the band that Billy Joel was in before he went solo. They were called Attila, and they have a really amazing story, Attila. It's like they were both Billy Joel and the drummer, whose name is John Smalls. They were both in the same band together called the Hassles. They were like a mid-60s pop band. Didn't have any really big hits or anything like that. Not well known really at all. So the two of them, they broke off from the band and they said, we want to do something bigger. We want to do something experimental. We want to do something groundbreaking. So they decided that they would form a band that's really just a two-piece, and it's drums and keyboards. That's it. No guitar at all. Nothing else. Billy Joel is playing bass, though. He's using the pedals on the organ to do the bass part. So it does have bass, but it is predominantly a drummer and a keyboard player. And this is like, you know, this is one of the hardest hard rock albums I think I've ever heard, and there's no guitar on it. The intensity of their playing on this record never lets up. It's like they wanted to make the biggest, loudest sound they could make, and that is what they've done with this record. You know, think of all those great classic keyboard players. Billy Joel's using the Hammond B3 in this, but instead of running it through the Leslie to give it the tone, he's plugged it right into the amp, so it sounds even raunchier and heavier. But think of like John Lord from Deep Purple, Keith Emerson from The Nice, Vincent Crane from Atomic Rooster, all those guys that were heavy keyboard players. This is what this sounds like, man. It's got that heavy Hammond B3 organ sound, and it is just over the top. I mean, look at some of these titles. The song titles on this. There's one called Wonder Woman. There's one called California Flash, in which Joel is singing about the guy's mustache and how fantastic his mustache is. This one, Revenge is Sweet, in which Billy Joel tells us he will kick us in the head. He literally yells at you, kick you in the head during this song. He does all the singing on the record too, but he also does a lot of shouting. It's the most aggressive singing I've ever seen Billy Joel do. This is the back cover of the record here with the two of them, and quite the crazy write-up on the back. But other songs that are included on this as well, there's the two-part Godzilla and March of the Huns. Since they're called Attila, they have to have the typical Attila the Hun jokes in there. Side 2's got some great ones too. Rollin' Home, Tear This Castle Down is nice and heavy. And of course, the last track, check out the title of the last track there, Brain Invasion. Because that's what this music is. This literally thunders inside your head. I can't push enough the intensity of the record. There's no ballads. It doesn't slow down. The drummer, John Smalls, is smashing, crashing through the whole thing. Billy Joel's beating the crap out of the Hammond the whole time as well. It's absolutely astounding. You know, the same year as Black Sabbath's first record, Deep Purple in Rock. This record, unfortunately, did not make it, slipped through the cracks. And, you know, even today, Billy Joel himself, he's not a big fan of this record. I've read some quotes in interviews where he pretty disavows it and says, you know, well, we were trying to be experimental, and he just kind of laughs the whole thing off. But I'm telling you, if you're a fan of hard rock of that era and you get tired sometimes of too much guitar, too many wild guitar solos, this might be the band for you, because that's all it is. That's all it is. And, like, I think this is amazing. We have three big things here. A, birth of crazy heavy metal, destructive, violent artwork right here with this record, right here. I'm saying it starts right here. Cannibal Corpse is born right here. Secondly, we have Billy Joel, one of the biggest pop stars of all time, was in this band, playing the keyboard, singing the songs, writing the lyrics. Absolutely unbelievable. The complete opposite of what he turned into. And finally, I think just a great, solid, hard rocking record. I know a lot of critics have totally panned it through the years, but I appreciate it. I think it's really intense. I think it's super heavy, and I think you will have a great time listening to it. So, because I'm just a super nice guy, in the little box below, the description box below this video, I've put a link where you can listen to the entire Attila record, because really, you have to listen to it as a whole. It's so over the top. I totally love it. I guess it's a fairly rare record nowadays. This is a reissue that came out back in the 80s on Backtrack Records, who have somehow vanished into the ether. I could hardly find any information about Backtrack online, but this was one of the cool albums that they released. God bless them if they never released anything except Attila. They did a great thing for hard rock fans around the world. I'm telling you, this one is a gem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap that up for this time around. Another edition of Slip Through the Cracks. Make sure you check me out on Instagram. It's Dr. Mouth. I'm doing lots of fun posts up there, and I'll always give you advance warning when a new video is going to appear. And if you don't play around with Instagram or that kind of stuff, the little subscribe button right at the bottom there, you can hit that, and then you'll be able to see these videos anytime you want. Because, man, oh man, as I continue to go through my record collection and find stuff, I'm having a ball. I'm super excited, and we're just going to carrying on right here with Slipped Through the Cracks. I'm Dr. Mouth, and I thank you for watching.